Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval. Today we'll be reviewing the second video on Malta. We will be having the first aircraft layout, however we will be having the alternate bombers. As we've gone over before, these have slower torpedoes, but the torpedoes do more damage, and we also have bombs that do more damage, but don't have a high fire chance. It actually looks like these damages are a lot higher than they were on Audacious. Yeah, we only went to 9,800 for torpedo damage and 11,500 for bomb damage. Now we're at 10,200 damage for torpedoes and 12,500 damage per bomb hit. It's amazing how these torpedoes do over 10k per one hit, and you drop at least 5 per squadron and 10 total. So today we have 2 fighter squadrons, 2 torpedo bomber squadrons, and 2 dive bomber squadrons. And let's see how we can do in this game today. Alright, here ourselves a game. 1 carrier, quite a few battleships, only 1 cruiser, and 4 destroyers. So this has the potential to be a very good damage game. Let's see. Let's go back to our carrier first. Here we go. Such a pretty ship. Alright, so we have a Centurion, a Tsushima, Yama, Lion, Bismarck. Alright, so not really any strong AA battleships. Maybe Lion would be the strongest. Fargo is pretty good AA. Shima has absolutely nothing. Gearing, Fletcher, and Aki all have good AA as well. So the destroyers have strong AA, but I don't really focus on destroyers, so that doesn't affect us much. Alright, let's just head over here for right now. Maybe we can get into ACAP later in the game. Alright, even though there is not a lot of individual strength AA-wise for these battleships, I'm assuming they're all going to be combined together as one big blob. So I'm still going to use my fighters as anti-aircraft bait and split up the AA attack or defense. So hopefully my strike aircraft can get through. We have 28 spare fighters, 28 spare torpedo bombers, and 29 spare dive bombers. So quite a few extra squadrons and replacement aircraft. Alright, so let's see what we can do. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied. That is why I am going over 35 knots and have 80,000 plus health. Alright, so our aircraft are starting to get up in the air here. What do we have on our side? We have a Yama, we have a Centurion. Let's actually use our... Well, no, we can bring everything over here. So our last torpedo bomber squadron is just about to take off here. And we have, we do have the Fargo on our side. But we can probably take her out with 1 torpedo squadron if we get enough hits. There's the Shima. The Fletcher's over here. Right, so we don't really want to lose any of our fighters to some ship that we're not going to be attacking right now. Alright, so I think we're going to go after this Yama first, which admittedly has the best torpedo defense in the game, but it's also a ship that will eventually need to be sunk because it has pretty good main guns, decent armor, and I mean, its secondaries are not the best, but they're still pretty good. Those 155mm guns are really, really powerful. Alright, so let's come in with our torpedoes. I do have to remember that we have the shorter, or the speed is not as great. The slower speed, there we go, that's what I was looking for. Alright, so something like that should be somewhat okay, I would think. She looks like she's going really slow, though. But it does look like we're gonna nail every single torpedo we have. And even if she has 50% torpedo damage resistance, that's still quite a bit of damage that she just took. Alright. And then we can follow up with our dive bombers. We're actually just going to bring our fighters over there. They're going to have to cross too many AA bubbles to get to our dive bombers to protect them, so we might as well just keep them there. We did get a flooding, so our damage control may be on cooldown right now. Let's see. 9 bomb hits, 20,000 damage, and 2 fires. Yeah, so that was pretty decent. Those dive bombers actually did pretty good, that drop. Yesterday we didn't really have as much success with them, I believe. But I have no complaints over that drop. Alright, so let's see. I think we can start heading... there is the Fletcher there. I'm not too worried about the Yama, because she's probably going to burn down, and if not, another strike will just finish her up. Let's see, what else do we have? Alright, so we have... our next strike should be over there. I do have 2 destroyers of my own for cover, kind of. I am going to try and keep this Fletcher spotted for right now, though. Is Yama still burning? Let's take a look. No, she's not. So I'll have to bring another strike out for her. But that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. I am kind of broadside to her, though, so I should probably move. Alright, so let's get our next torpedo strike ready. And our dive bomber's out for this Yama as well, since I think one final strike should be able to finish her. And let's see what else we want to go after now. That Centurion looks like a pretty decent target. And since she's not moving, we don't really have to worry about getting our torpedo drop correct. Alright, so let's see if we can drop her. And she does not have as high torpedo damage resistance as Yamato does, so we should be able to do quite a fair chunk of damage on her. Alright, let's go back to our dive bombers. Let's see, how did we look? Looks like they were actually kind of spread out there for a moment. But we were still able to get quite a few torpedo hits. Alright, so let's see if we can finish up this Yama with our torpedo bombers. Yep, we did lose both of our fighter squadrons, but that's okay. Actually, I want to do a better drop. It looks like our carriers hit the side of the game, but that's fine. Alright, so only 7 bomb hits for almost 10,000 damage. We did lose an entire squad, it looks like. Maybe not. It's hard to tell, actually. But we did get another fire, so that will keep working down on the Yama. She should be sunk there. Alright, so let's bring our fighters back out while everything is reloading. It looks like this carrier is going to be a good target again. Wow, that Centurion healed. And it pretty much doesn't look like we did anything to her. Alright, so there goes the Yama pretty soon. There we go. So our fighters are still looking pretty decent. Torpedo bombers still pretty good. I don't think we've lost, what, maybe 2 dive bombers? Which is kind of surprising considering we've actually done our strikes without any fighter protection for both of them. Alright, so yes, I do think the Malta will be our next target here. Once we get them in, our torpedo bombers in the air. Alright, so let's bring out our torpedo bombers for this attack now. The good thing about Malta is that no matter how strong the enemy team is, you will always have enough aircraft and strike potential to actually do a ton of damage. And you can win your game solo pretty much. So maybe something like that for a torpedo drop. Let's take a look. Bring our fighters back out, our dive bombers back out. How do those torpedoes look? Pretty decent. I think I'm getting the hang of these alternate torpedo bombers. Not enough to sink her, unfortunately. And she is in a secondary brawl with my Fletcher. That's funny. Alright, we've backed off the edge of the map. Ooh, the Centurion got the Malta. So let's see what we can do. Dive bombers are in the air. See, we still have the Centurion to take care of, and then there is a Akazuki, which I have no idea where she would be. Get our torpedo bombers ready for the next strike as well. Once they are ready, we ourselves are moving to get into A to see if we can cap that. We're doing okay on points. We're definitely going to win this, I'll tell you that. Oh, there's the Aki. Actually, it might be better if I did Squad 5 there and brought Squad 6 over for the Centurion. Okay, so we got the destroyer. And let's see if we can get this, or at least damage the Centurion. And we missed, unfortunately. But we have our torpedo bombers coming out. So it's good that we were able to get the Aki, at least. Alright, let's get into A here. Yeah, we'll be fine. Alright, our torpedo bombers are ready. Let's see what we can do with them. It does look like she's going to go aground again, so we'll have to attack from the north, which will take some time. But it'll be fine. We're still doing really, really good on all of our spare aircraft right now. We haven't really been focusing on any kind of air superiority role, but that's okay. So maybe something like that would be pretty good. Let's take a look. I think we're gonna get at least 8 of them. Yep, we still missed with 2, but that's fine. So let's follow up with our dive bombers. Let's see. Oh, we're still running aground because that's not where I wanted us to go, but that's fine. We were able to cap the base, and we have all 3 bases now, which is really what's important. Alright, and let's bring our dive bombers out for another strike. I think we're going to want to attack from the south this time. And then our torpedo bombers are reloading. We are just now starting to feel the pinch of our spare aircrafts in regards to fighters. But everything else is pretty much still okay. Getting a few more plane kills on these enemy fighters. Waiting till my fighters come back to surround my dive bombers. And then let's bring out another strike of torpedo bombers. Dive bombers coming in. I'm not quite sure what she's doing. Hold on. Alright, there we go. That should be pretty decent. Only 3 bomb hits? Really? Oh no, there we go. 8 bomb hits. Oh, and the game's over. I think we won on points. Alright, so let's see how we did. 284,000 damage, 2 ships sunk, 31 torpedo hits, 27 bomb hits, 16 aircraft shot down, 6 fires, 4 floodings, 1 capped base for 6,700 base XP. 34,000 damage in fires and floodings, 195,000 damage in torpedoes alone, and 55,000 damage in bombs. So those bombs are actually pretty powerful this game. And we were able to do a ton of damage on the Yamato, the Centurion, and the Malta, and we finished up the Aki. So even though the torpedoes are kind of slow, we are kind of getting used to them. and they were able to land some pretty damaging hits, especially on that Yamato at the beginning. So with that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and join me tomorrow while we go over the next layout with the original bomber setup. So again, thank you and take care.